welcome.
Good evening again, folks. We want to welcome you to a good edition of MLC Talk. This is the platform we discuss all things Lutheran. Today is the 12th, January 2025, and we are still in the new year. I mean, some people still have their Christmas trees up. So I don't know if you still have yours up, but I still have my Christmas tree up. And something happened on the weekend, and we have to take care of that. Hey, Dr. Toto, the Steelers.
Man, don't go there. Don't go there. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I don't know why they even get to play offset.
The Steelers, man, the Steelers. Listen, you cannot go to Raven Nation. Listen, that's the crab nation of that's the crab factory of the country. Okay, you cannot go to Chesapeake Bay and survive. Okay, we have crab trap for you. So yeah, but again, we want to welcome everyone. We want to welcome our sister there in our studios in Winnipeg, that's Manitoba, Canada. She's so serious. It's like the snow is falling in her house. I mean, Elijah is buff today there in Minnesota. Elijah got a regular shirt.
I'm a school boy. I'm a school boy. So Slither thing made me a friend. So I can wear my pants and go outside. Like you get the experience with
Come away.
and all your schools were shut down just a little bit. I could still see the grass though, but then they were shutting down school.
All the airport are shutting down. When you still see the green grass.
I know.
No, on the weekend we had a lunar snow. The lunar eclipse, it would take some years before you see it. The same thing happened with snow in Georgia. I mean, and to be honest, if you really check the map, snow wasn't coming down Georgia from Winnipeg and Canada. Winnipeg, Canada, and Minnesota. Snow wasn't coming down here. I think you guys try to use some other, thing, African sign and all this stuff and send snow down here. But anyway, yeah. But I mean, we took that angle on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dr. Toto. Go ahead.
Anyway, it's good to be back on the show again. This is the second
yes.
Sunday in the year 2025,
Absolutely.
So far, 2025 seems to be promising. It's good to be back on the show.
Yeah.
And then also to want to recognize our friend and brother, Josiah Joka, who got his PhD.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is a big one, for the
Yes.
Lutheran Church in Liberia. And also as a member of the platform. We want to congratulate him for his hard work and also for motivation.
Yeah, that's a big one.
What happened? I thought was happening.
Yeah, I think so I just trying to congratulate Josiah, for his accomplishment. And as a Lutheran, we are proud. At least we are getting there in higher education. I think we can safely say that we get competent people within the higher of the Lutheran Church in Liberia to run our Lutheran University successfully.
Yeah, but before we go to the Lutheran Church in Liberia, Dr. Toto, we have to start from our own. We have a doctor from our team, man. Come on, Dr. Jokai. I'm still used to Big Joe, so I mean, you guys will have to give me some time to get adjusted to that. And I know when Abia completes his doctorate, I have to say, senior brother doctor. That just so Big Joe has to give me some time, but we are so much excited that one of our own, man, so proud, one of our own. I remember when he first started, and even when I visited him in Danbury, Connecticut, all of his work and everything he was doing, he showed me everything. He said, "GM brother, man, the steady is going, but it's a little tough." I said, "Man, you'll get there." But we're so excited. But folks, we want to inform you that due to network issues in Liberia, our guests cannot appear on the show um, via video, but we have our guests on the phone. So, um, Dr. Ricks, Dr. Mimi Sankawolo Ricks is with us, and she's with us on the phone. So, Dr. Rick, we want to welcome you. And before we get to you, we just want to hear from our host, our brother Elijah Zina there in Minneapolis, and then Sis Couple Select. How is your area?
Well, thank you, Willie, and welcome to all of our viewers. Minneapolis, simple. We are pure white, white as snow. It is snowing here. We've been receiving a lot of snow. It's very cold, but on the overall, we are good, and we are happy to be here today. I want to say welcome to Dr. Ricks for taking this time to join us so that we can talk about Phoebe Hospital. So I'm glad to be here again.
Yes. Yeah. Sis Couple.
It's good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our guests. I want to welcome our guests. From my end, I'm good. Like Elijah says, no. We have the same year. But then what I noticed last night, we had something like light, they call it light snow. The snow flowing and you see it's dangling. You see now light into it. I mean, I'm
Mm.
like, the whole area just sparkling. It's white, but then there's a sparkling light on top of the snow. I'm saying, wow, the snow, it has a lot of technique. Are you coming? But yeah, yeah, yeah.
That can only happen in Manitoba. That's
Yeah,
Canada.
we're
That's
not
for
being
us.
Winnipeg. Yeah, we are
It
here.
happen in
Here
Winnipeg
is school. Well, we are grateful, and we hope to discuss the issue when it comes to Phoebe.
Yep.
And once again, I want to welcome our guests and our listening audience. Thank
Yep.
you, Woody.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. And so folks, today we have with us again, as we mentioned earlier, the medical director of Phoebe Hospital, and we will be discussing the topic fit in healing. As we all know, the Lutheran Church in Liberia um, is built on three ministries: teaching, preaching, and healing. And this is one of the ministries. The current status of Phoebe Hospital and School of Nursing. Before we can bring in Dr. Ricks, we just want to provide a little bit of information of Dr. Ricks. Um, Dr. Mimi Sankawolo Ricks is a seasoned pediatrician and health leader. She was born in Liberia to the union of the late Mr. and Mistress Wilton Sankawolo, pastor Lutheran Church in Liberia. She holds a Doctor of Medicine degree from the prestigious A.M. Dougherty College of Medicine, University of Liberia, and is a member of both West African College of Physicians, that's MWACP, and the Liberian College of Physicians and Surgeons, that's the MLCPS. Dr. Ricks she's currently serving as the medical director and the CEO of Phoebe Hospital and School of Nursing in Swakopmund County. Dr. Ricks has over 2 decades of clinical expertise and leadership in pediatric healthcare. Her extensive experience, including leading clinical public health responses and advancing pediatric care practices across Liberia. Dr. Ricks is widely recognized for her unwavering commitment to improving child health and for her significant contributions to the healthcare delivery and policy in Liberia. She is passionate. She is a passionate advocate for innovative, evidence-based approaches to healthcare. This is Dr. Ricks. We want to welcome you. Dr. Ricks, we want to begin this way. Initially, First of all, we want to say welcome and how are you doing? And sorry, I mean, it is unfortunate you cannot join us live. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are. I am grateful to be part of this program. Unfortunately, circumstances, whatever makes us human, we're able to adapt.
Yep.
And that's why we are having a live telephone conversation instead of a live podcast.
Right.
But thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Reyes, we want to begin this way. When we first put up the flyer, we had there faith in healing. As I mentioned earlier, the Lutheran Church is built on three ministries. And then we said the current status of the prestigious, the renowned, I'm sorry, we said current status of the renowned Lutheran Phebe Hospital. And when we shared it with you, you had a little bit of concern. And you said the actual name is the Phebe Hospital and School of Nursing. So we did make the change. Some people were concerned when we posted the updated flyer or the edited flyer, if you may. And so we encourage everyone to tune in, and maybe we said Dr. Rich will give us some clarification. Is it that the name of the institution what had the concern, just Phoebe Hospital instead of including Phoebe Hospital and School of Nursing, or is it about the ownership that it is not a Lutheran institution? So we just want to get that part clear off so that people just have that clarification. Then we move forward with the conversation today.
Okay, thank you so much. It's not that I had a concern, it was just a clarity.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that the Phoebe Hospital was established in 1921.
Right.
Okay, as Phoebe Hospital in Modernburg.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And it was known as Phoebe Hospital.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The Lutheran Church in America
mm-hmm.
was actually the one that brought about Phoebe Hospital in 1921 in Liberia.
Right.
So the reason I said that it is Phoebe Hospital and School of Nursing, there's an act. Okay, an act of incorporation.
Right.
And that act has the Phoebe Hospital and School of Nursing. That's the reason. It's based on the act.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Rich. And so just for our listeners audience out there, Dr. Rich is not denying the fact that Phoebe Hospital is. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I think we had a network connection, but go ahead. Go ahead. You were in speech. Go ahead. I thought you had stopped. Go ahead.
No. Okay. So it's just based on the act, the name of the institution that is in the act. That was the clarity. It's not a concern.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, folks, Dr. Rich, Medical Director of Phoebe Hospital and School of Nursing, I just clarified that she did not have concern that Phoebe is not a Lutheran institution, but the name, she just want a clarification of the name, that it is Phoebe Hospital and School of Nursing. Dr. Rich, we want to say thank you so much. And again, we cannot, express our gratitude that all of the network challenges, you still found the time to be with us on the phone. So with that clarification, we would like to know, how is Phoebe today? How is Phoebe doing? In the past, we had, I just want to add this part to it, and so I don't, lose thought on it. In the past, we had the late Dr. Walter Guanigali, and a lot, like everyone knew him of this, my Phoebe saying. So, how is Phoebe today?
Thank you so much. For the late Dr. Guanigali, I think he attached the pronoun my Phoebe so that he can, so that it shows his commitment to his service for the institution. Okay? So the name Phebe was gotten from Romans 16, 1-2.
Right.
Okay, where Paul was saying that what? Remind us of Phoebe opportunities. I commend to you, our sister Phoebe, that you may receive her in the Lord as benefit the saints, and help her in whatsoever she may require from you. For she has been a helper of many and of herself as well. Now, the Lutheran missionaries came with the mind of helping people, of being of service to Liberia as a whole. And this name Phoebe, I don't think it was by mistake that this institution was named Phoebe. She has and continuing to be of service to people. But times have changed. She has been through a lot. Okay? So with all of the constraints that she had, until in 1974, when Phebe became the county hospital in Ball County. Because of the financial constraint, history has it that they wanted to close down the hospital and only maintain the outpatient department and the outreach. But the governor of Liberia deemed it necessary and saw it fit that the location, the locality of this institution, it was serving the public and not only people in Ball County. Okay, today Phoebe served what? The whole of Liberia. People come from Bapolu, Grand Bassa, Montserrado, Magibi, Nimba, Lofa, and you name it. Even Guinea. People come from Guinea to come to this hospital. So the government said that this hospital would not close, but instead it should be expanded. Okay, it should expand its services, and that's how Phoebe Hospital became the Bone County Referral Hospital. When I say Phoebe has gone through a lot, the war, for an example, we know that Phoebe, there were a lot of people that were killed here during the war. And even Phoebe had to move to Salala. Okay, Phoebe moved to Salala, and after a while, he came back up to Ellen government. The hospital was still thriving and doing well. But for the past 6 years, there were a lot of politics, okay, where people started to say that Phoebe is private, so the government should not pay attention to Phoebe Hospital.
That was 2020.
Giving her support.
Right.
There are just some individuals who decided to do, to have its political sides that Phoebe is private, so the government should not pay attention to Phoebe. But Phoebe sits here, she sees anyone and everybody. Phoebe Hospital does not reject any patient, whether you have it or not.
Right.
It may interest you to know that registration is just 50 cents outpatient, 50 cents US outpatient department, and $1 emergency. But even at that, there are a lot of people who come here that can't even afford. And the hospital is compelled to do what she can do just to provide quality care. So when you say, how is Phoebe? I can tell you that Phoebe is still standing by the grace of God. Even though with all of the challenges, Phoebe is still standing because she serves as a beacon of hope to a lot of people who that come here for care.
Thank you so much, Dr. Riggs. And guys, listen, from Dr. Riggs' response, you should remember that this is the pastor's daughter. So remember now with your questions, because she's now a medical doctor. She's also in the Bible now. All right. So Dr. Riggs, we have our colleagues here, our sister couple Celie. She's in our studios there in Winnipeg, Canada, and we'll be going on to her. She will ask 2 questions, then we'll go to our brother Elijah Zina. Elijah Zina is in Minneapolis in our studios there. He will ask 2 questions, then we will also go to Dr. Toto. Dr. Toto is one of your own from Todota, and he's also in our studios there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, folks, we're gonna have a great day. Share the platform, please share the show and invite others to tune in. This is MLC Talk. Today we are discussing faith in healing, current status of the Phebe Hospital and School of Nursing. We have with us today on the phone Dr. Mami Sankawolo Ricks. She's the medical director of Phebe Hospital and School of Nursing. Sis couple.
Thank you again, Dr. Reyes. I want to say welcome again. So in your presentation, you talk about the issue of politics being played at Phoebe. Certain individual wants to play politics with Phoebe. So what is the current status, the current relationship between Phoebe and the government of Liberia?
So thank you. When it comes to the relationship between Phoebe and the government, the relationship is still maintained on the books, because if you look at budget allocation, it is written there that Phoebe is the county hospital for Bone County. Okay, so the government are individuals. We should remember that the government is not a structure, but it's a group of people. So some people will use based on their position or their connection to, what would I say, to get their own self-aggrandizement or to please themselves or to get back at the institution if they can get certain things. So the government of Liberia still gives allocation, budgetary allocation to Phoebe Hospital. In fact, all of the ones, the personnel cost is from the government of Liberia. For those that are at so Phoebe has 2 payrolls. You have Phoebe Direct and you have government seconded staff. So when it comes to Phoebe Direct, the personnel, the cost is strictly the government of Liberia. And they also give goods and services. And besides that, the Ministry of Health also second staff to Phoebe. Some individuals, because of their positions, they may not want to send staff to Phoebe, and they will say Phoebe is private. So it is not. So sometimes we say the government. I think it is not the government as a government. It's just individuals that are part of the government. So if you talk about the relationship, I think the relationship is still there because the government still gave us military allocation, even though it may be reduced or we may not get all at it, within the budget year, but yet still the government is committed to giving to commit ourselves when it comes to the budgetary allocation for Phoebe Hospital. So when it comes to relationship, I think the relationship is still there. Yeah.
Okay, the relationship is stayed there. Sometimes back, I read an article concerning Phoebe, which has to do with the issue of the recall of doctors. So, if the relationship is still there between the government and Phoebe, those doctors that were recalled, have they reassigned them at Phoebe or replaced them?
So that was 2021. So I was assigned at Phoebe in 2019. In 2021, we were recalled from Phoebe Hospital.
Or you're part of this?
But yet still, I kept coming back to Phoebe because Phoebe is well structured. All of the departments are well structured, and the children are admitted at Phoebe. So even though I was assigned as CV Doma, I kept coming back to see the children that were admitted in Phoebe Hospital. Yeah, all of the doctors were taken from Phoebe. So this is what happened. When we were being recalled, the news went wild that the governor of Liberia was recalling all of the doctors. So they put a hold to the recall, and those that were taken were not replaced. And that's where Phoebe is now. We still have constraint for doctors and other healthcare providers.
Okay, okay. So when those that was recall and they are not being replaced, like you said, you still have constraint when it comes to doctor. Then what is the good working relationship? Because you said you have two payrolls, one from within and one from the government. And so most of it from the government, I guess the government send doctors. So why are you having constraint when it comes to doctor after government have recalled those doctors, and when there is a preferred working relationship between the government of Liberia and Phoebe Hospital?
So let me just say this, okay? It is so all of the doctors at Phoebe Hospital, they are from the Ministry of Health. The nurses and midwives and other support staff, physician assistants and other support staff, they are both from Ministry of Health and Phoebe Payroll Direct. Okay? Phoebe does not have the capacity to employ doctors because it's not payroll. Now, we are still negotiating with the Ministry of Health, telling them the need to assign more doctors. Currently, we have, excluding me, we have like four to six doctors besides the interns, but those that are directly assigned to Phoebe. Okay, so currently we don't even have an internist. The internist we had, Dr. Kofier, was given a scholarship for 2 years. He's not here. He has not been replaced. We are still negotiating with the Ministry of Health, the board. So when I say there's still a relationship, we still have doctors here at Phoebe. Okay, like I told you, it is the Ministry of Health that sent all of the doctors to Phoebe Hospital. So if we call all of the doctors, and you can say that there is no relationship, but we still have few doctors, even though we still need doctors at Phoebe Hospital. That's what I want to say.
Elijah can come.
Okay, back to you, Dr. Toto.
I think Elijah can come in.
Yeah, come in, Elijah, please.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Riggs. I'm one person who's been following Phoebe Hospital. I want to say thank you first of all for the emergency response to the people of Totota when they had the fire disaster in 2020. That was 2023, December 26th. And I know that you guys work overtime to make sure that the patient that was brought at Phoebe, they were well taken care of, and there were other support coming from other organizations based in the U.S. as well to help you guys respond to that emergency. And then also during the Ebola time as well and COVID-19, you guys been doing great. And Phoebe Hospital, before I can ask you a question, Dr. Riggs, we know the issue of identity crisis has been a long-standing situation with Phoebe Hospital, and I think people that are not informed properly, like you are very well informed of the history of the Phoebe Hospital, and I think people who are serving in government, they are like some of the leaders in Bone County, they are complete disappointment to Phoebe Hospital because I know the incident a couple was referring to in 2021 when Mervyn Cole, Joel Howard Taylor, and Wilhelmina Jala, and then Samuel Toy and others, they were invited by the legislature to provide clarity around the hospital, because Mervyn Cole has written the house to invite Phoebe to look into the budgetary allocation for Phoebe, because he felt that Phoebe was a privately owned institution and why she should be receiving government fundings. And I think that was a mixed information. And like you right there stated, government is continuative and government is for the people by the people. And I think when Dr. Will and our Tuttle made a commitment back then in 1974, like you said, to take a partnership with Phoebe Hospital to start sponsoring the hospital, because it was well situated, it was helping the people of Bone County, and they could not allow that hospital to shut down because of financial situations. So the government pledged to continue to support that hospital up to the establishment of this Phoebe School of Nursing, and in addition to the hospital. And that hospital has been serving the people of Bone County ever since then. But to have leaders who are serving in Bone County playing politics, because when the CDC government took over, they wanted to start assigning people randomly everywhere. There was the whole political thing that you mentioned about Phoebe being a private institution and government does not have voice and other kind of thing in fight when they are represented on the board of Phoebe. But with that being said, Dr. Riggs, I want to ask you, you talk about budgetary allotment and constraint of the hospital. You need some medical essential medication for the hospital. I know they are traditional partners of the hospital. I know the EOC is still sending you a little bit of support in the midst of everything, and then the government also is giving you some budgetary allocation. So I want you, and in the estimate, can you tell us annually what is the budget of Phoebe Hospital, operational budget for Phoebe Hospital? That'll be my first question.
All right, thank you so much, Elijah. You want me to answer the first question before you go with the second?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay, so let me be honest with you. I have taken over Phoebe just this February going to make 2 years. Okay, and the previous budget for Phoebe Hospital has been, I think, 3 point something million. But let me be honest, we are we have established a budgetary committee to actually come up with the actual budget of this hospital, what it takes to run this hospital, and that we have not come up with. We only relied on the government, whatever ELCA sent for the outreach and the medical supplies at GHM, and thanks to the Global Health Ministries and ELCA, they have been a long life partner to Phoebe Hospital. I don't know what Phoebe would have done without them. Yes. Even though there's financial constraint all over, even for this 2025, ESCA has reduced our budget to Phoebe again. Yes, but is that unique to Phoebe? It's all over the world. Okay, the donor fatigue is all over the world. So Phoebe budget is about 3 million, the running costs. But I can promise you that I want to know the actual running cost of this hospital. And we are going to do that in the not too distant future to actually, so like now, like if a donor come and say, what do you need or what is the running cost? So we can be able to give an actual budget. It's not just depend on what the government has been giving, because there's constraint always. All right. Even if the government gives all of the money that they said they will, but we still have, like, I give you an example. The legal counsel for Phoebe, he's not on payroll. The hospital has to raise his compensation. The public relations officer, he's not on payroll. The hospital has to raise his compensation. And sometimes we hire people because Phoebe compound is huge. We hire people to help clean the compound. We have to raise those money. They don't come from the government. So with all of these things, I've asked my administration, let us sit down and have an actual running cost of this hospital. And not just to say, oh, let's wait on what the government is going to give, so we can have an idea what it takes to run Phebe. But previous, like during early time, the running cost has been like 3 million.
Thank you, Dr. Riggs. My next question would be, I heard of a rumor, and I want to make sure that you can clear out that rumor mill for me, because here we just don't want to pick up information from the streets and then bring it over and then run with it. But at least we hear from the house's mouth. Um, has there been a time where the Phoebe School of Nursing at Mary Wavre and students wanted to do practical or training at Phoebe Hospital and the administration for Phoebe Hospital refused?
So the thing is, the School of Nursing is with the Lutheran University now. So she stands on her own, and Phoebe Hospital stands on her own. And there was a memorandum of understanding when the hospital and the school was being separated. There was a memorandum of understanding long before I came that was written. And each party needed to abide by the memorandum of understanding. And that was not done. I think that's where that issue came from.
So students will actually deny from doing practical or
Thank you
training.
so much,
Did I
Dr.
answer your
Rich.
question?
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead, Dr. Toto. I know you're waiting to.
Can she just like and what can she just state what the memorandum of understanding says?
Okay. Yeah, she's listening.
Okay, there were things that are stipulated in the memorandum of understanding. Okay, and each party needed to abide by. Yeah, obligation and responsibility. I don't have the memorandum of understanding, so I cannot read out what is stipulated in it. But that was done long before I took over Phoebe.
Thank you, Dr. Rich. Fair enough. We bring one of your own, Dr. George Toto.
Okay.
What did I cheating?
What that cheat again? All right. A female was talking to a female doctor.
My mom so
I know. I know.
Exactly. That's why I said one of your own. That's why I let him last.
And all from the Fremont family. You know, I know. Dr. Rich, thank you for coming on the show, and also thank you so much as a daughter of Totuta, and I'm a son of Totuta for the good work that I just said that you guys did during the fire disaster.
That I told you, just a point of clarification. It's not a family show, but.
Yeah, I know this is not a family show, but the connection will be established.
You don't pass on the direct thing.
You open up the girl back.
You know.
Go ahead.
But thank you so much to you and the staff of Phoebe Hospital, you know, for the medical care that we're giving to our brothers and sisters that got affected, that got burned during the fire disaster in December of last year. We want to commend you, and also too, we want to acknowledge the role your parents play in the Lutheran Church in Liberia. You know, for serving the LCL. We want to acknowledge their role. Dr. Rich, my first question is Phoebe Hospital and the board of directors. Who are the board of directors of Phoebe Hospital? Why make the board of directors? Were you appointed by the board of directors or the government of Liberia?
So I was assigned to Phoebe Hospital by the Ministry of Health, by the government of Liberia as a pediatrician. I was vetted through the board of directors, a board of trustees, that's how it's called.
So
and the next Actually, so the board of directors, let me just read the act here. So this corporation should be composed of a board of trustees, year in after called the board of 17 members designated as follow. 3 members representing the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Republic of Liberia, one being the county health officer. Here they have it as county medical director. 2 members representing the Lutheran Church in Liberia. 2 members representing the United Methodist Church in Liberia. 2 members representing the Episcopal Church in Liberia. 1 member representing the Division for Global Health Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. 1 member representing the Catholic Diocese of Banga. 1 member who is the county superintendent. 1 member who is the president of the Cottington University College. 1 member representing the employees of Phebe Hospital and School of Nursing. So this is what make up the board of trustees for Phebe Hospital. That's why when they say that the government does not have a say, we are like, but the government has representation on the board. Okay, so all of those that I just named, they are the ones that make up the board of trustees.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that clarity. Because there are a lot of misinformation out there in the public, also to concerning the formation of the board of directors. Because we have been hearing some misinformation that the Methodists, the Episcopalians, they are pulled out of Phebe Hospital, so the burden has lies on the Lutheran Church in Liberia or the LCA for them to fully sponsor the hospital, and because of financial constraint, they cannot fully finance the hospital. That's why the government of Liberia came in to provide about 80% of the fund of the hospital. But it's like you already said, that we still see that the Methodists and the Episcopalian are all part of the board of directors or the board of trustees of the hospital, which is a good source of information that you just share with us. And Phoebe have been facing so many challenges. I can recall some time ago when it comes to the electricity problem, which Phoebe Hospital faced when it comes to the generator issue. At that time when I was the vice president of the Liberian Lutheran Americas, we tried to raise some funding for that to help to provide electricity and fuel to the hospital. So that Phoebe are going through so many challenges as a listener. But are they current status, or what is the electricity problem in the hospital as compared to maybe I think 2019 or 2021 when that issue was going on? What is the current status of when it comes to electricity or the fuel aspect of the hospital?
Thank you for that question. And I'm smiling. When I came 2019, I was in Phoebe 2016, and we had, I think, 12-hour current from 6 to 7, after 6 to 6 in 2016. And when I was reassigned here, it was so frustrating in 2019, 2020. Phoebe could not even provide electricity to the residents. If we're lucky, we'll get maybe 2 hours current. But here is the thing: the administration was striving to keep the hospital lighted. That's why they could not do what they could do with the electricity. And I can tell you now, it's almost the same. October, Phoebe, it has so much debt. The liability is over, I could say it's almost 200,000 United States dollars. In fact, Phoebe was just sold by one of the vendors 2 weeks ago that Phoebe is owing her since 2016 to 2022. Okay? So what we did with the public grade current, we decided that, first, all of those that were doing business, like cold water, Kool-Aid, and whatsoever, we tried to disconnect them to discourage, to reduce the consumption of the current. But yet we still had funding gap. So what we did was we decided not to give the residents current. So each home now is responsible for their own current, which is the public grade current that we have here, JEP, the Jungle Energy Power. But we provided the double throw, the lightning rod, the wiring, the meter, the hospital. This underwrite the cost because this is not people's personal home. We don't want you when you are leaving and you say, oh, I provided my meter, so I have to take it to the hospital underwrite the cost of getting all of the meters. So at present, we are running one generator, the 150, plus the public grid, and the solar. The solar, we are just having some portion of it being used. All right. So we thought that getting the public grid would have helped, but unfortunately, it's so costly, and that's what has put us into a lot of debt. The only thing that is helping the hospital is postpaid, and I think they are being generous enough. They have not really disconnected the hospital. So when there is public current, we use the public current. When it's not available, we use the generator. And thanks to the leadership of Bone County, the superintendent, Phebe, was given 23,000 United States dollars, and we're able to purchase 4,946 gallons of fuel December. And we are so grateful to the leadership of Bone County. Yes. And that is helping us with our generator and the vehicle fuel. Yes, so this is where we are with the electricity. So right now we are only striving to keep the hospital lighted because you can have all of the drugs in the hospital. Once there's darkness, the patients will not come. Phoebe Hospital will be on the news. Okay, so in as much that you need drugs and you need staff, you also need electricity, constant supply of electricity. So this is where we are. We owing the Jungle Energy Power so much money, but I think maybe because of what Phoebe had done in the past, they are just having mercy on us. They are still supplying us with current. Yeah.
Dr. Reyes, I want to come in. I want to comment on this. From what you've explained, the situation unfolding at Phoebe, this is not a new issue. Sometime past, at some point, Phoebe had to leave from Muhlenberg, went to Zozo. From Zozo, came down to Swakoko. From Swakoko, during the war, went to Salala, and then came back to Swakoko. With all of the prevailing situations that challenges that Phoebe is faced with, are there considerations to add some fees, considering current day realities, in order to um, balance some of the challenges that Phoebe is faced with? And the reason why I say this is because um, maybe today this government might be friendly, and tomorrow we might have another government again. I will say, okay, there's another 6 year again, and Phoebe will be in the news. The same news that we don't want Phoebe to be in. And help me out here and correct me if I'm wrong. I know Catholic Hospital is private and Catholic Hospital is receiving subsidy. And please correct me if I'm wrong. The Methodist Hospital in Banga is private, but they still receive subsidy from government. From Ganta. Thank you very much, my brother. From Ganta, the Methodist Hospital in Ganta. Okay. And I agree with say this is a county hospital. If it's a county hospital, it should be supported 100% as a county hospital. If it is a semi-county hospital, in terms of because the religious names are on this institution, this medical institution, and you know the assistance is given in bit in pieces or in some little chunks. I don't better see Phoebe moving forward, and I want to commend you. There's a great a step, a positive step towards moving in towards the right direction. That is to know the entire, to know holistically, to know the cost of what it takes to run Phoebe, because it's almost like our brother said last week that is like we're gonna be doing the labyrinthine. Let's do it small. And we're talking about healthcare. So if people are coming to receive healthcare, they come and receive it, and for some bills, maybe it'll be sent to the government. Those who cannot pay, it be sent to the government, and the government should underwrite it. But people should be able to contribute because in running this institution, I mean, like what you said, it takes like $3 million+ to run this institution. So again, to my point, that is there any consideration after reviewing the holistic financial costs for Phebe Hospital? Is there any consideration, to add some little fees on that? Like you said, 50 cents to register and $1 to register for. I mean, dollar is like probably $150, Liberian dollars, and you're looking at a fraction of that, that's $75. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Rickson. Okay, okay, yeah, $200. Yeah, I mean, looking at reality, let's look at reality in the challenges that Phebe is faced with.
So let's be honest.
Yeah.
The way Catholic Hospital was established
Okay.
and instituted is not the way Phebe was established.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you read the history, you know that Phebe had an airplane.
Yeah.
He used to go into the village.
Yeah.
And bring people.
Mm-hmm.
Even keep them, feed them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the private hospitals came with the mind of what? Business.
Okay.
But Phebe was not established that way. And this is one of the reasons why we are having these challenges, okay?
Okay.
Catholic hospital is like giving allotment, they are giving subsidy.
Right, subsidy.
Phebe is giving allotment. Yes, but Phebe is giving an allotment by the government of Liberia. And it may interest you to know that a lot of time in Liberia, we want healthcare to be free.
Right.
Okay? Yes. And I think it's the way that Liberia has been established, that healthcare should be free. And Phebe came, and Phebe was doing everything free. Okay? Now, let me just tell you about hernia rhapsody. A patient who has hernia, right?
Mm-hmm.
You charge them $5,000 Liberian dollars. That's about what? 25 or something, depending on the rate. But if you have to do X-lab, you need to use the gas, the anesthetic drop.
Right.
Because it's what? One of them is $70.
Right.
But the patient is paying far less than $70 for surgery. But that's how it is. So we have been trying to, okay, like now, we say, look, Phebe is not the only hospital that the government has to support. What can be done? We make sure that if we are to collect the 50 cents, we make sure we collect these 50 cents. Except it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that you can do these 50 cents, then what can you do? You can't keep the person hostage. Okay? Right now, the oxygen plant is down. And we procure oxygen, $15, but no patient pay for oxygen. And we are still trying to work with our partners to see how we can reestablish the oxygen plants, even the infusion units. All these things are down. So the problem with Phebe is the way Phebe has been. And it's going to take a long time for people to know that you need to pay for your health. All right? The government may try to do everything, but the government does not have it. And Phebe is not the only facility. There are so many other facilities and new ones to be built. A new one has been built, or they are being built. Okay? So we can only try gradually and hope that it will work. But Phebe, the name Phebe Sometimes I call it freebie. Okay, people come and they don't want to pay. Oh, but in a government hospital, yeah, you know.
So Dr. Rich, I want to follow up with this question, and there's also a question in the queue from um one of your own, I would say as well. But Sonny A. George, he's from the Bone Mines region. Okay. Um, back, when we said that we look at the name Phoebe, we also talk about back in the day. I think on one of our trips to Phoebe, that was also back in the days, I was fortunate to see this airplane. Okay, and I saw the airstrip, and I was fortunate to see this airplane. And we thank our partners for their generosity. But now this is the thing.
Yeah.
At this present day reality, even on the global level, even here within the US, there have been
Health is not free.
it's not free. But yeah, no, not only help is not free. What I'm saying is there have been cut on some, there have been reduction on free services. Okay, there have been reduction of free services, or not only reduction of free services, but there have been cut back on donations. People are not donating like before. Like back in the days, I understand that sometimes you will see someone got their car in the yard and it's parked, and they say, "Oh, we don't want it, take it, you carry it." But I tell you what, to even find an old car nowadays to buy is difficult. So you should know how things are changing. And again, I want to say that it's a very good thing that you have started, and we hope that you will come back to us again and really get that holistic course of
Yeah,
running.
well, yeah,
And
well,
I want to bring up this question right here, from one of our viewers quickly,
yeah.
and I know that, yeah, Elijah, I'm coming. We don't have much time with her, and she's on the phone. But let me just read this question to you. The question is from Brother Sonny Ajo. He said, Dr. Riggs, what kind of services are you running at the hospital with respect to payment for service or gratis? Is it okay? With respect to payment of service or gratis? If payment for service, how much do you raise monthly, and how is that amount used? I think this question is very important because you mentioned multiple times that the fees, there's a Phoebe is not the only government hospital or government assisted hospital. There are so many other hospitals and some to be built. So, considering that reality and the fees that you're collecting, how is it done? Is it how much is raised monthly, and what aspect does it go towards? Does it go toward 15% of the cost if government is paying 85%, or if government is paying 50%? How do you intend to raise the next 50% to run Phoebe Hospital with a $3 million budget?
So thank you for that question. I had there's going to be a part two to this.
Yeah, no,
to this
absolutely. There will be
interview.
there have to be a part two. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Like you see where Phoebe is located, everything we need for this hospital, you have to go to Monrovia. And for a staff to go to Monrovia, you have to give them a daily subsistence allowance. That does not come from the government, it comes from the fees that we collect. Okay. It is now that we are placing control measures on what we collect to know how much. All right. And another thing that is going to help, and that can not only be with Phoebe, but the government, we need to have health insurance.
Sure.
Other countries have done that.
Yeah.
Okay. There needs to be health insurance. And that's what we are battling with our Phoebe direct staff. Okay. We need insurance of this everything that, and we need to change our mindset and our attitude towards these things. All right, health is not free. Phoebe is not the only hospital that the government needs to support. People need to understand that Okay, I can tell you there was one day, as soon as this government took over, a former leader came to the hospital. So, oh, you have to get your, I think it was I've needed surgery. You have to get the material. And I call my hospital, yeah. And you want to tell me to come in, bring things into the hospital, I say, and they were delayed and delayed and delayed. And this is a hospital. We are looking at life. All right? If someone can't afford, they need a surgery. Sometimes I tell you, we take our personal money to attend to a patient in this hospital. Many times. Not once, not twice. So many times. Okay? I don't know if it is deliberate or they actually don't really have the money. We don't know. Since I've been here from 2019 in Phebe, we used one day I said, well, I didn't go to medical school. I was never taught this to use my salary for patients. But what can you do when you see someone dying? When you see someone in pains? The staff have to go out of their way to get their own money to spend on these patients. So we will just continue to talk and hope gradually the mindset of Liberians will change and the attitude of Liberians will change. That healthcare is not cheap.
No, absolutely.
Even if you are being subsidized, even if you are giving donations thanks to Global Health Ministry, yes, but the other things, keeping this hospital lighted. Okay, like currently in the budget, they put $7,000 there for generator fuel. That can even carry us for a month. And people need to understand this. So, how much we collect? My finance will have not been able to give me a monthly. That's why I'm saying we need to have a part 2 to this talk.
Yes, absolutely. Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Because to be honest, I've taken over with all of the liabilities coupled with keeping the hospital functioning and running operational. I have not really paid attention to how much do we collect, and that we're going to do this 2025. All right, we're going to do this 2025. It's just so much the vulnerability of the compound every time there's theft. All right, pulling out wires from houses and things are getting missing because the compound is so huge. We don't even have enough security manpower. The compound is dark. The few outdoor solar lights cannot provide enough lighting for the compound. All right. I'm hoping in the future it will get even fence this compound. Then we know we have control over our compound. All right. I don't know if you are aware that Phebe was taken to court concerning the land before. That was long before I came. A portion of the land was taken by some family from the airstrip. The whole airstrip now does not belong to Phebe. Okay, right behind the hostel or the basketball court was sold to individuals because no one went to court to talk on behalf of Phebe. So that portion of land had been taken away from Phebe. Even with what we have now, there's a need for us to do that, to have control over it. We need to fence the land. Okay? Even the road coming through the front of the hospital, connecting the hospital, is deplorable. If this year, if we can't do anything about it, that road is going to cut. Like this going rainy season, the water cross the road. Okay? So there are just so many things. But we are getting there. Gradually, people are getting to understand the dynamics. Like I tell my staff, Phebe is my farm. If I don't come to my farm and cultivate, I should not expect to harvest.
Right.
I tell them that.
Right.
Yes.
So
if we have that mindset that we are coming to cultivate a piece of land in order for us to be able to harvest, I think people will move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. People will move forward. Dr. Rich, we're gonna have our brother Elijah Zina. He's gonna come in with 2 questions. Then we go to Dr. Toto and our sister couple Silly. We will recognize our viewers. And viewers, you can go ahead and call the number on the screen and also push your questions to Dr. Rich. And she's on the phone here with us from Phebe Hospital and School of Nursing. Go ahead, brother Elijah.
Thank you again, Dr. Riggs. And I have been sitting and here quietly listening to you and as you explain. And you've been a Phoebe, like let's say about 5 years now, since 2019 to 2025. This year, I've been making it around going to your 6 years when you end 2025. And you speak about now trying to have an actual budget of the operating cost of the hospital, which of course you estimate right now to be around 3 point maybe 1 or 3.5 million dollar. And then yet and still the hospital is still constrained. And then you give thanks to the leadership of Bone County of Bone County. And I want to understand from you from what extent um or the leadership of Bone County involved with the operation of Phoebe Hospital, and how are they advocating for Phoebe Hospital to remain open? And then my second question would be to you: can you describe your emergency plan, especially not your emergency plan per se, but your emergency services at Phoebe as it relates to ambulance services? How does that look like now?
So thank you, Elijah. So the leadership of Bone County, thanks to the superintendent, Senator Moy, they have been very instrumental when it comes to Phoebe operations. So the leadership of Bone County decided to help the three hospitals in Bone County, Bone Mines, Phoebe, and CB Doma. And what was allocated to Phoebe Hospital was the 23,000 United States dollars. And we begged them if I could buy drugs. But I told them, in as much as we need drugs, we need fuel more because we need to keep the hospital lighted. So they consented that we could use that money to buy a fuel, so we're able to get, like I said, the 4,000, almost 5,000 gallons of fuel. And even with the vehicle issue, all right, I took over. It was the all of the vehicles were damaged. We have one old Jeep. That's what we use. I use, and the whole hospital use. Global Health Ministry was able to purchase a 17-seater bus for Phoebe Hospital for the staff. Okay, and because of that, because it's just 17-seater, we had to even issue the ticket system where the bus is to take you from home to work and from work to home and nothing more. So only those that are coming to work or going home from work are allowed to use the bus, even though there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. Yeah. So like the ambulance, Phoebe has not had an ambulance for I don't know how many years. I just since I came to Phoebe from 2019 up to present, Phoebe has not had an ambulance. But it's very costly running the ambulance. So presently, Phoebe Doma has an ambulance. The county has an ambulance. If we have patients to be referred, we call the county health team. When I say the county, and they can provide the ambulance for patient referral. But currently, Phoebe Hospital does not have an ambulance. It's very costly running an ambulance. I know current hospital has an ambulance, but it may interest you to know that the people you look for are kind of different. They are willing to pay for that now. All right. So what I learned, depending on the distance, there are fees charged for fuel. It is working. But currently we don't have an ambulance.
All right, thank you, Dr. Riggs. Let me just make a follow up. You've been mentioned that you still receive a little bit of a support from the ELCA, even though that has been cut down a little bit. Um, we know that there are other partners of the hospital and there are representation on the board. And has there been any point in time that you receive support from the Episcopalian or the Methodist Church in support for Phoebe?
No. And I can't tell you when the last time I haven't heard. But since I took over almost 2 years, they are still on the board. But when it comes to financial support, the Episcopal Church, the Methodist Church, don't give any financial support or have not given
So
any financial support.
okay. Um, so Dr. Riggs, I want to go this route and talk about the whole issue that's happening at Phoebe, and then with the identification crisis with government cutting down budget, and I think this requires some level of education. Has there been a time in point where you have to write a communication to the Boone County Legislative Caucus requesting the parents to them to provide some clarification around Phoebe Hospital and some of these things that you're explaining tonight?
So, with all of these things going on, the last board meeting we had in December of last year, the board president, Honorable Eston Lavata, was able to give the background of Phoebe Hospital history. And I remember in that board meeting, the superintendent was represented, and her representative was like, "Oh, but why people consider and say Phoebe private, Phoebe private? We didn't know this. Even the Catholic hospital, the Catholic diocese, the person that came to represent the bishop, he was like, oh, thank you so much. This is an honest. Now we're getting to know what Phoebe is. All right. The last government, no one came to Phoebe to ask. I know many times, um, the former vice president will go on the air. Phoebe is private, and we're not going to pay attention to Phoebe. We're going to pay attention to government hospital. But what can you say? There are times that there are some battles you just don't fight. Okay, you let time and circumstances fight for you. Why will you go out and say, are you going to what? Do you want us to go out on the air and debunk the statement that, oh, Phoebe is not private or Phoebe is this, Phoebe is that? I don't think so. But I can tell you when we wrote the Minister of Health that she should please send the representative um, on the board, she asked for the act that created Phoebe, and it was sent to her. When she read the act, she was able to represent. Nominate two persons to represent the Ministry of Health on the board. So that's how we're going to do it. Okay, we engage you, and if you want clarity, like I think I remember, the person that is at the Ministry for Governance, we had a workshop last December, and he was like, I'm coming to Phoebe. I'm going to see how I can structure the board. I said, hey, slow down. I'm going to bring you the art that created Phoebe. And I did give him a copy of the art that created Phoebe. All right. People will get to understand, but I don't think to be going on the air and say, oh, this because someone has said that and other things. No. I think if I have to go on the air, I should go on the air to be what? Begging for help for Phoebe Hospital, and that's counteract a statement and people, So we have trying to get a website also for the hospital. Perhaps we can even post all of the history of Phoebe on the website for people to read and get to know what Phoebe Hospital is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Riggs.
Willie, let me just make a comment to what Dr. Riggs just said. You know, you made mention of the ex vice president going on air and saying that Phoebe is a private hospital. And Joel Howard told me, I'll call her name. She has been a disappointment to the Lutheran Church in Liberia and people of Bone County. I don't know why she was even like the first state to become senator of that county, because Joel, among many people from Bone County and the Lutheran Church in Liberia, Joel's parents were educated by the Lutheran Church in Liberia. Her mom was among the first nurses trained by the Lutheran Church in Liberia to serve in Phoebe as national nurses in Phoebe. Joel got her education from the Lutheran Church in Liberia. But when the seditionists took over, you masterminded the formation of the CB Doma Hospital in Banga because they didn't want any support going to Phoebe because she and other thought said that Phoebe was a private owned hospital when she knows very well that this is a hospital that the government had pledged to support. But because of politics, she turned her back on that hospital place that she got her education from. I just wanted to say these are some of the people that serve in public positions but turn their back on the people. The spoon that fed them when they were down there, they turned their back on that institution. And one of those persons is Joel Howard Taylor, was a disappointment to this church and the people of Liberia. I just wanted to say that.
All right. Those are the comments of opinions of
So,
our brother Elijah Zinan. His passion for our Lutheran Church in Liberia, but not of the network MLC talk. So go ahead, Dr. Toto. Then
yes.
our sister purposely will come in because she said I was cheating her, so she will have enough time with the with her fellow female.
I can take it that race. I listened to you, Kid. Good discussion so far. I don't have a question for the Rob. I just want to jump in. So I just want to jump in. So comment. So statement. Listen to you, Kid. Coming back to the board of directors or the board of trustees, the reason why I asked that question, and you already have answered. You already answered my question. Now, if I or the Methodist Church, the Episcopalian Church, or they are not contributing financially to the upcoming or the upgrade of the hospital, I think there's a need that they need to revisit or the board of trustee on a hospital in terms of contribution because you cannot be serving on a board just by attending meeting when you're not contributing financially. And also too, I will probably blame our church in Liberia, the Lutheran Church in Liberia. They are not ready on their feet to really take complete ownership of the hospital. That's why I brought all the financial problem and the operation of the hospital. If the church have the capacity to stand up on their own to run the institution, do not have gone through all the problem. I hope that the Lutheran Church in the world, as well, the Lutheran World Federation is not just a mushroom organization. It's a big organization that keep running that hospital, and our people in Liberia have not been able to put the necessary collected idea and resources together to be able to run that hospital successfully. That's what they have here. Or why we have a member of the Catholic Church in Liberia for us to be on the board of trustee. What contribution are they coming to attend a meeting or to
When
listen
they
to
already have a Cali hospital
or roof of the hospital? And we discussed the issue of our shows some time ago. And I want to do that very critical. I said that the way in which the missionary went to Liberia, they established the Lutheran Church in Liberia, other institution, to make our people listen. As you said, for the historical aspect, when the Phoebe's hospital was established, it was established on a free basis. There's a way the villages that they get people to come and get them, and even pay somebody to come to seek their own medical attention. When our people left, they turned it over to the Liberians. They can always manage the institution no longer again. All our institutions have failed in Liberia. Our school system, our healthcare delivery system all have failed. And I think this is the story that for all the Lutheran Church in Liberia, and it's a shame that for our church in Liberia, for us to find us in the category. I think the Lutheran Church will stand up and take responsibility of their institution in Liberia and other major area in Liberia, so they rely just on the government. They have the capacity, they have the network, they have the people that can be able to reach out to. Just make that clear.
Thank you so much, Dr. Toto. Yeah. I mean, I had to wonder why you have the Methodists on there when they have a Methodist hospital, and you have Catholics on the board when they have a Catholic hospital. So I mean, what interest are they going to propose for a? For me, what interest are they going to propose for a Lutheran hospital? That's still a Lutheran hospital, even if the ELC, because we are direct partners of the ELC, we're established by the ELC, so it's still Lutheran. I mean, it can be a county community hospital. I mean, the governor of Liberia can come in. Dr. President Torbo say, okay, you know what? We don't want this hospital to go away. Our people are there, and Joel Howard going ahead and masterminding a plot to have a CB Dunbar hospital very next to Phoebe Hospital. It's still a Lutheran hospital. We can't really take it away. But I mean, I still kind of wonder why you will have all these people on there. What interest are they going to propose for them? Now look at the Catholic representative saying, oh yeah, I didn't know that, it is this. So it means that, yeah, we do, But anyway, I mean, that's a good point too to you, Dr. Toto and Brother Elijah Zena. Sis Couple Stella, you want to come with your two questions, please, quickly, so that because it is your time now, and we want to give you all the time here with you and the female doctor. Okay, I think couple Stella, are you there? Okay, I think she's having some connections issue. So while we wait on couple, there are two comments here that are raised, and I will just read these two comments, and then I will go back to Brother Elijah Zina. He will make a comment or maybe just ask a question. Then we'll go to Dr. Tutu. And definitely we need to reschedule. We need to schedule another visit, a part two of this. And we're going to have more time to have, a good conversation like today. So we're going to read two comments here. Brother Sonny A. George, he said the internet has made the world a global village. You need to have a public communication aspect that will be responsible to inform the world about the work we do, our capacities, our challenges, our capabilities, our challenges, and invite people to make contribution to the work we do. It means the Phebe Hospital. And you need to use the internet to communicate our needs. So he's still, like the Phebe Hospital, all of us part of it, including you. And I like the fact that you talk about establishing or creating an internet, internet not internet but website for the current Phebe Hospital. There's one here from our pastor. He's here he's studying here, and his name is Reverend P. Small Kokolo. Okay. He said, you just reminded me of my time at current Lutheran Hospital as chaplain. The establishment of our hospital is running after us today. Many days ahead to collect offerings. Okay, many days he had to collect offerings from workers in devotion to take care of patients. That's when you talked about, using your own, your personal funding to take care of patients. So Dr. Rich, this is what we're gonna do. We know time is fast spent, and we really do appreciate you. And folks, we thank you for tuning in as well. We're gonna arrange with Dr. Rich, and we're gonna bring her back on the show, and we're gonna have a part two of this. We perhaps gonna have a part three or part four of this, because we're gonna keep reaching out to her, and she has really availed herself to the platform, so we can keep send keep putting out the message of Phebe Hospital, the work that she is doing, and her staff at Phebe Hospital. I was there in 2023, and I saw Dr. Rich and the work that she and her staff, they are doing there at Phebe Hospital. I personally want to thank you so much. So Brother Elijah Zina, you can just come in maybe with a comment and or a question, and after that we can follow with Dr. Toto. Then everything Dr. Rich will respond to them and give her closing comment on that. You are muted, Elijah.
Dr. Riggs, I want to say thank you for making up the time tonight to join us and to just talk about Phoebe Hospital, the hospital that is dear to all of us. And we want to see that hospital working and serving the people of Bond County. In closing, all I want to say is that all of the stakeholders um, within the Phoebe Hospital, or all of the stakeholders that are represented on the board, I think it's about time that we revisit some of the like the I created Phoebe and some of the mixed information around Phoebe. I think it's about time we create some vigorous educational materials and that we can just get shared to the public. You don't have to get on the radio, but just create some educational materials about Phoebe and just put it out there, and then engage the stakeholders. If anybody is not supporting Phoebe Hospital, they say you put your mouth where your money is. And so if your money is not here, don't put your mouth there. So if Methodist is on our board, Catholic is is on our board, and Episcopalians are on our board, but the money is not in the hospital. Why I did there? So these are some of the things that we need to visit and see why these people are here when they are not doing anything, or why they should be making decision by the hospital when they are not even giving any support to this hospital. There should be a revisit to those policies. But on the overall, Phoebe Hospital has been there. He has been struggling, and thank you for the work you're doing. And we look forward to having another conversation with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elijah. Dr. Toto?
Yeah, so Dr. Reyes, again, thank you so much. As a child growing up in Tututa, Phoebe Hospital, or one of the hospital, my parents would always take me when when I was sick. In fact, I was born in Phoebe Hospital some year back. I won't call it a year because I really don't know my age.
Dr. Ray, we just beat them yesterday. So
Yeah,
he's suffering from all of that. Go
so
ahead.
I was born in Phoebe Hospital some year back, and I know Phoebe Hospital very well. The terrain, they talk, especially the airstream we talk about, and the airplane that they have. I know those days when the planes to land into the top, we should run behind, we air behind the plane to catch that cold breeze when you fly to take patients. So I know everything when it comes to that, the operation at Phoebe Hospital. But it's just a sign of and unfortunate that a premier hospital or referral hospital that could have been one of the best hospitals in rural Liberia to be struggling today to run. And with all the politics that involved in it, with the board of trustee, who make the people that make the board of trustee, and to see the premier hospital to be in a state of condition is sad, and for me, I will put the blame on we the Lutheran and the Lutheran Church in Liberia. The establishment of the hospital derived from us, and we're supposed to put our foot on it to make it successful, make it to be a competitive hospital in Liberia. They too much stretching our hair. I affected most of our institutions in Liberia. Our institution, most of them are in full state of operation. And at least I think we Lutheran, we need to wake up and face the challenges and come back and face some of our institution, our premier institution, our school system, our healthcare system to be one of the best in Liberia as it was before. But thank you for the good work and thank you for the good relationship that you established with the leadership and the patient in Phoebe Hospital. We continue to pray for you to be successful in our hospital. Thank you so much.
Dr. Ray, are you there? I think he's having a connection issue. Okay, all right.
Sorry, I'm on the phone, so
Okay.
I was just getting the call. I was what interrupted there.
Okay, no, that's fine. So before you can come here, I know you got all of the points that Dr. Tutu just mentioned. You know, there's a parable in Loma. I want to say that parable, and then you can come in, you can just give a summary of all of our comments or our questions, and then you can give your closing comment. That a total stress on something, and that we need to step up as Lutherans. There's a parable in Loma that says, "Gazavoy is ovaga," and Reverend Cockler can help me with that. The interpretation is, it is Drafe. It's Drafe that can do doctor's work. If you don't have Drafe, you will not cut someone's skin to say you're going to do surgery. So we need to step up and really take ownership. I agree with you, Dr. Tutu. Go ahead, Dr. Ricks, please.
So thank you, and thank you for the time. And I think this is a great step. Advocating for Phoebe Hospital. Phoebe has a lot of potential. Currently, doing the we have this Lassa fever research, and we have a dialysis. I can tell you, the day we get our dialysis installed, there's going to be rare traffics. Okay, I want to say that it is bravery that can cut people in that traffic. So Phoebe has.
That's true.
So Phoebe has a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
And people are getting to understand that health.
Okay, folks, you're in tune to MLC Talk. Go ahead, Dr. Rich. Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, I am seeing how we can get Phebe from her state of crisis. Global Health Ministry is trying to help us do that, to have a consultant come and see how best we can take Phebe from where the state that she's in and make her sustainable. Yeah, so thank you for this time. I'm sure that all of those who are listening, there are even others who are not Lutheran that are also listening. I've gotten a gist of what Phebe Hospital is and what Phebe has done. And Dr. Toto Atu was born in this hospital. I think we need to form an organization with Phebe babies. So you can tell, I can tell you that Phebe is dear to my heart. Yes. There are a lot of Phebe babies out there. There are a lot of people out there that Phebe has helped.
Oh, I'm a Phebe baby too. You should know that too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I was sure it's not family, but they all were born in Phoebe. Y'all go open your own radio station. I'm a JFK baby. I'm a JFK baby. JFK Old Maternity Center.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope that the next time we won't have to call direct.
Yeah.
Yes, but this is Liberia. Liberia is so unique, and we are hoping that for this government, things will improve and things will change. Yeah. The president of Liberia has Phebe at heart. Phebe is dear to President Barker's heart.
Thank you.
I'm always getting information from there. In fact, his foundation has been one of those. They have donated a lot of things, very good things to his sense. Just before he took over and after he took over, President Barker has done a lot of things to Phebe, and Phebe is dear to his heart. So it is our prayer that Phebe will get out of her state of crisis and be sustainable in the future. Thank you so much for having me on your show, and I hope that it will be better next time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Riggs, and again, we can't thank you enough. We will arrange in the back end so that we can plan the next time properly, and then we can have you come on the show. And again, we all hope that you will be, on the screen with us. Again, we say many thanks to you and your staff. Thank you so much, and we'll continue working together in the back end.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, have a great evening, man. All right, folks. That was Dr. Riggs, Dr. Mimi Sankawolo Riggs. The name Sankawolo is a household name in Liberia. Household name in Liberia. I mean, just 1 minute each, just a minute. One minute each. Elijah, Dr. Toto, this couple. What you make of the conversation when it comes to our Phebe hospital? I mean, it seems like we lost it.
Yeah, so with it, this is a very good discussion. I'm so happy that Dr. Riggs came on the show here, to kind of clear and to provide some good information for to our intro. I like how you put the question.
Right.
At first, the first information that went out and when we changed, there were a lot of doubt. Why it happened that way, and you see how she's softening our heart,
right,
and open the question more for it to be asked.
Yeah.
So it is a good information she provided to us, and like I said, I think this is a failure. This is a failure for we the Lutheran, not just the Lutheran Church in Liberia, but we as a Lutheran. Mm-hmm. This is a failure for us. We cannot we are lost our identity.
Yeah.
In managing our own asset in Liberia. When it comes to Phebe Hospital and other Lutheran institutions, look at Dr. Riggs. Even said that there was a lawsuit against Phebe Hospital in terms of the land, the lost part of that land.
Right.
Where was the Lutheran Church in Liberia that was part of the formation of
Right.
establishing the hospital for the loss of land? We had that same problem in Totota. When my family, the Toto family, wanted to go after the Lutheran Church in Liberia for the land that they said that Chief Toto did not, the land that Chief Toto gave the Lutheran Church in Liberia at that time was not like this, but they want to bring some complication. And some of us, some of us, we were some of that benefited as a Lutheran. We went, we sued our family and told them, say, you got head on the wrong path, and you got to that part of the Lutheran Church like bro, we're not supporting people for that. And we stood up for that. And we supported the Lutheran Church in Liberia for that.
Yep.
During Bishop Jesse time, when
Yeah.
when your bishop won a lawsuit for the total family and all of that. We talking, so it's starting, all our assets in Lutheran, even LTR, look at how LTR tend to be in Liberia, LTR tend to be a bush in that place. Either poor and managed by the Lutheran Church in Liberia or the Lutheran institution, So what's the education that we have getting so much as a Lutheran? Our institution just fell before our eyes. Look at Phebe Hospital. Phoebe Hospital is one of the most premier hospitals in terms of
Yep.
Lutheranism. Look
Yep.
at the Catholic hospital, you see today, the Methodist hospitals in Liberia. They are all flourishing, but yet they are serving our bowl. In what capacity that they serving in the bowl? That's why I say they need to visit the nomenclature of that bowl and who appointed member of the board. They need to look at it. Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
I'm leaving the show tonight with a very happy heart about the Lutheran Church in Liberia, how our asset is declining in the
Yeah.
eyes of all Lutheran.
That's true. And the same thing with the same thing with Zozo Hospital. Land was given by the Panaku family or the Momolu family, to current hospital, and today people are encroaching on the land. No one can even advise and say, okay, this is Lutheran land, this is for current hospital and other stuff like that. I mean, we're just losing everything. And I mean, I like the comment. I mean, this is the honest truth here from Brother Cesar Goya. That's why I keep showing this comment. I mean, what are some of the things that really we are managing from St. Peter's Lutheran School to the Burn Lutheran School in Pinsville, LTR? What really can we show? Either we leave this institution to the mercy of the parishes when the parishes are done struggling with them. Then we come and say, okay, it is our own. I mean, we can't do those. I mean, let's really be honest. I mean, Brother Elijah, I mean, if you can just take a minute on this, man, so we can try to wrap this up and
Well,
just leave.
for
I'm
me,
willing
I'm out
to
for
talk
me,
too.
I'm out of words when it comes to what we just heard from Dr. Riggs and
And Elijah, sorry to cut you off. I want to say something quick, and I want you to, I want you to look at this. If you listen to if you listen to Dr. Rick Kinley, she kept mentioning an act, an act, an act. When was this act? When was this act established, or when was this enacted? Was it in 1921? Or was it recently? Because the act she keeps talking about, in my mind, is a recent act, not the act of 1921 that established the Phoebe
no,
Hub.
there's an act of 1962, and we need to look for that act.
1962.
Then let's
Yeah,
compare
there's an
1962 and
act.
1921 act.
No, the 1921, it was when the Phoebe
Was it
Hospital
established?
were officially open. That's
Right.
the date. But the school the hospital date back all the way from 1800s when Murray
Exactly.
Hospital started the church in Edinburgh, and then the Phoebe and that of LTI, they all started up over there. So there's a long history there, okay? But the number one thing that I see here is our stewardship as Lutheran that has been a failure to us. So the stewardship of our properties is not properly being managed, and all boils down to people saying there's no money, and we have so many resources that we can leverage in order to be a rich church in Liberia. But if you have a poor stewardship of your assets, then you see things going down the drain. So I hope that the bishop can put himself in a really good position when we host him, because there'll be a lot of questions that we will ask him as it relates to some of these things that we heard tonight. So I'm
Sure.
gonna leave it at that and say thank you guys. It was a wonderful show.
Yeah, it was a wonderful show indeed. And come last Sunday, that's Bishop Hours, so the bishop is going to be here. Says couple, you want to take 1 minute on our show today, please?
Sorry.
All right, folks.
Yes,
This is yeah.
like what everyone said concerning our stewardship. I think this is shame. It is a shame for us as Lutherans that everything is not even completed. Everything we lay our hands on, it is unfinished. Why? And now it's like Phoebe now. We don't own Phoebe again. Phoebe have been taken care of only because we don't have um ownership of it. We don't put our time. We don't make it as our responsibility in owning our property. Come to think about it, police. Parishes will be offered a land. And while I know that in the Lutheran church, land is not owned by a parish, it is owned by the
The
central
church,
the
yeah.
church, right?
The church, right.
So if a parish is given like that, for example, an acre of land, and that parish doesn't have the financial strength to survey that land. Why can't the church come in and help survey?
That's
Because
the
I one of the
question.
things that making us to lose all of our land today. Because you go,
Exactly.
you check, there's no cornerstone, there's no demarcation. You don't know why your land is, the land they gave you. Yes, so we are too complacent. We just sit down and let people take everything that they give to us. They happy again informata. The city happy informata. The Costa
See,
family
Matthew,
with the
same
church.
thing.
Yeah. So you see. And when they do you remember when we went? I don't know whether you went with what the late Mary Malcolm when we were going your Diablo. There was
Oh no,
a
I didn't go. I
vast
didn't go
land that
there.
very show us.
Mm-hmm.
He said this land is owned by the Lutheran Church. Imagine in Lima County. Who knows? We don't, that land is still there. It hasn't been surveyed. We don't know how many acres. So we don't know. So we just need to take our responsibility and take ownership of everything that we have as a church.
All right, folks. Again, we want to say thank you for being here with us today. We were discussing faith in healing, the current status of the Phebe Hospital and School of Nursing with Dr. Mimi Sankawulu Ricks, medical director of the Phebe Hospital, and she's also the daughter of the renowned librarian writer um, and councilman and also a Lutheran pastor, Wilton Sankawulu. Again, until next time, we want to say thank you
Hello,
for being here
Pastor.
with us. Thank you so much, and we hope you have a blessed and wonderful week.